So, my name is Aria Ammer. I am Assistant Director of Orientation and Family Programs. This is our first Sycamore Family Session, so welcome. Today we have featured with us is our Project Success team, and here in just a moment, I'm going to let them take it away and kind of explain what that is. But I'm so glad you're here joining us. I do hope you consider Indiana State University as a great choice for your student. I'm really excited for you to hear what Project Success has to offer. So I will be controlling the slides, you guys, and I'm just going to let you guys take it away.
Okay,
Thank
well,
you.
yeah, thank you. So, welcome everyone. We're so glad you're joining us today. I am Steph Piercy. I'm the Director of Project Success, and we're going to tell you a little bit about Project Success and Bridge Week today. Just to give you a little bit, I'm going to have you guys introduce yourself as you present, because that way they will have you directly connected to your material. A little bit about Project Success. We are a grant-funded program through the Lilly Foundation. Project Success is a 4-year support program for students, and it's really focused on building relationships and connections. And so we start with you is when you're admitted. You'll get a notification that you're invited to the program. And then we'll spend the next 4 years communicating with you, reaching out to you, supporting you, helping you remove barriers. And so that's kind of what we do. So our lovely team is going to talk about the different ways we support you and the different things we offer. So welcome. And I'm going to turn it over to Antoine.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Steph. Appreciate that. My name is Antoine Brooks. I'm an advisor for business majors. That includes accounting, finance, entrepreneurship, insurance, and risk management. Let's see. We're going to go to the next slide, please. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what we do at a Project Success to kind of give you an overview of how we take care of your students. The entourage, as it said in the slide, is really the tribe of people that we put around your student to help them, to support them through their 4 years of college. Those are the academic advisors, which everyone on this panel, my colleagues, Sydney and Danny, we are all advisors, and we help the students register for courses. We get them in to check them on their grades, on their interim grades, kind of seeing if they need support or resources or help, making sure they have all their books. And so that's how we support them. Our transitional instructors or our supplemental instructors help students with the historically difficult classes at ISU. Those are usually 100 and 200 level courses. Our triage and support coordinator, which is Danny Van Arsdale, who is on this call. She helps the students who are maybe they're missing a few days and need to get back on track. She makes sure students stay on track. That's among the things that she'll do. She'll probably share a little bit more with you. Our Bridge Week coordinators, those are the folks that help us put that the Bridge Week program on every year. Those are about, this year I think we had like 26 students who helped, and they were Bridge Week peer leaders or peer mentors. We train those mentors up to then welcome the incoming freshmen and tour them around the school, show them where all their classes are going to be. We generally have fun. We generally try to make the students feel welcome on campus and connect them during that first week. Looks like a grad assistant. We have one grad assistant. Her name this year is Brittany. She works closely with Mrs. Steph, and she helps make sure the program runs smoothly. Again, the peer mentors are the folks that we have at Bridge Week that stay on through the rest of the year as mentors, and they are a familiar face for those students who they worked with for during Bridge Week. And so they have a familiar face that they can turn to throughout the year on campus should they need any kind of advice or resources. Our social ambassadors are upper class students who serve as peer support for our student. They help us put on events. They help us set up events. They also help with outreach and hosting and tabling. One of the big events that they attend throughout the year is a day at the State House where they get to go and see how laws are enacted and then see how laws and things like that are done at the state level. So they get to have a wonderful experience spending the day at the state capitol. And then the wonderful Miss Steph Piercy is our Director of Project Success. The program overview, the Bridge Week, we'll get into it in depth a little bit, but again, it's just a week where students can get that familiarity to college before it gets busy and all the students come. It's just a week with just Bridge Week and Bridge Week students and project success. And we just help them students get acclimated to the campus. Those one credit classes are the classes you may see on your student's grade report. Those are the UC 110 and the UC 150 classes. The UC 110 is to serve as a blueprint for student success. We give students in that class all the things that they need to be successful, like giving them an aptitude test on how they learn. Are they auditory? Do they learn by kinesthetically, by hands-on? Or do they need to see things happen, right? And then we help them create their own schedule, showing them how to create their schedules and pick out their classes and manage their time among other things. And the UC 150, again, is those are students who may have had some challenges the prior semester with their grades. And we're now trying to get those clears to shore them up, get them back on track, again, with some resource training and letting them know the resources available to them, like tutoring and study tables. We got the Career Readiness Outreach. That's Indiana State's program. It's a comprehensive initiative to help students develop core competencies like communication, critical thinking, leadership through experiential learning. We partner with the Career Center to offer students help getting their career going, whether they need resume help, looking for jobs, and the sort. You also may have heard your student talk about the handshake. That's the way they go online here to get jobs if they want to work on campus. As far as getting ready for their career, prepare for their career by getting a part-time job or helping to kind of offset costs for school. And finally, well, not finally, but we got the social belonging program. This is one that I'm really excited about working on. We have big events that Miss Sid is working on. Like it was the spooky Halloween. I think it was a Halloween event we had for us, like a trunk or treat. So we always trying to do events to let students know that they're not here by themselves. They have a tribe of support. They have a tribe of people that care about them and want them to have a good time where they're in college. And so we're doing things like that. One of the projects that I'm working on with Miss Steph and some of our social ambassadors is trying to change one of our platforms from more of bullying to belonging, social belonging. So there's a lot of things we're going to do with our social media platform to make that more inviting for our students, right? And to bridge the gap and study abroad. Let me read to you for some things about that bridge the gap. There's a variety of scholarships that we offer to help support students, whether they're short on money or if they're just, is that like 1,000, just under 1,000? I think it's just under $1,000 that they need help to bridge over their money until they get their next financial aid. We can offer a bridge the gap funding for those students. That's just for project success students. And the study abroad are programs where students can go and learn at colleges in other countries. They can stay for a summer, they can stay for a semester or a whole year. Their financial aid is applied. It doesn't take away from their graduation time. Scholarships are available also for those students to attend. But yeah, that's the difference between study abroad and faculty-led trips. Faculty-led are also trips abroad, but they're shorter, right? They go abroad for maybe 2 to 3 weeks, and they take two faculty and a small cohort of students, and they get a credit, a three credit for the courses that they're in, that they're enrolled in. So a little bit difference between the study abroad and the faculty-led. One is longer. The study abroad can be a summer, semester, or a year, and the faculty-led is a little bit shorter. All right. And with that,
Hold
I
on
think
one
that is,
second. Just
yes,
a
ma'am.
few things just to add on to what Antoine said. Um,
Please.
so we support financially the study abroad programs. And so since the beginning of the program 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, um, we have sent 87 students abroad. So we partner with some faculty members in the African American Studies class to send students to Ghana. We partner with faculty in the political science department to take students for a service learning trip in Ireland. And we partner with faculty in our School of Music. And Sydney got to go on this one. Where we sent 11 project success students, 11 or 12 project success students in May, and they got
Nice.
London, Amsterdam, Brussels, and Paris.
Paris.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that echoed.
you really echoed, Sid. And
I'm
so
in Danny's
those are
office.
some really great experiences that the program offers and does help support financially. So,
Yes. Hey, Miss Steph, I forgot to talk about Family Bridge Week, getting so in
oh,
a hurry. I do apologize for that. But that is a new thing that we started with Bridge Week. Miss Steph was like, we've been supporting our students over this number of years for Bridge Week. Why don't we do something for the parents of our students? And so what I did was started to create a video library to support our families, our parents of our students. Some of the topics that we covered this past week was leveraging your lived experience. Parents need to know that their lived experience can be leveraged to help their students. You don't necessarily have to have a college degree to help your student be successful in college. And then another topic was my child is going to college, thriving in this new chapter. How to help parents of first year students support their child. So these are just some of the topics that we offer families, like 20-minute quick videos where we open the lines for question and answers after we give the parents a little bit of information about how they can support their kid. That's all for me. You usually have to cut me off when it comes to talking, but I will cut myself off right now. All right. And which one of my colleagues is next? It's going to be Miss Danny
it
or
is
Miss
me.
Sid. Okay.
All right, next slide, please. My name is Danny. I am Project Success's Triage and Student Support Coordinator. And what that means is I am the person who coordinates and leads outreach for all of the students in the program. So those emails that go out to students who maybe are not attending classes as regularly as they should be, maybe just need like a hand extended in support. Maybe they're going through something and need reminded that there are people here and around for them who care and want them connected to resources that we have on campus. And I do those triage efforts in support of or alongside of Antoine and Sydney. They do help me out with those. I'm going to run through a few of the interventions that the program offers. The first 3 weeks of the semester are usually the weeks where students are sort of getting into a routine. They're figuring out their groove, what works for them, what doesn't. If they are missing classes in the first 3 weeks, then that's kind of indicative that there's something going on, something's not right. Maybe that there's other things that are taking away from or distracting from classwork. And so me and all of the academic advisors, we receive a 3 week attendance report that will specify attendance for the first 3 weeks in all of their classes. So if there's any absences or attendance concerns at all, they will hear from us offering support, offering resources, trying to get them in to see me or their advisor, anyone who can get them connected to someone who can help them out and get them back on their feet. Because the habits that they build in those first 3 weeks are really going to set them up for success moving forward the rest of the semester. So getting off to a good start is super, super important. So we try and make sure that happens as often as possible and extend a helping hand wherever we can. Personal assistance and resource referrals. Each of us is different from the next person. So what I might need to feel helped and supported is different from Antoine and Steph and Aria and Sydney. So every time I meet with a student, it is an individual one-on-one approach. It's not something that's generalized. Um, so every single person who sits down at the desk across from me is what can I do to best support you? What resources are going to best help you? And how can I get you in touch with those? I work really closely with academic advisors. So anyone that an advisor is concerned about comes to meet with me. Um, Sometimes Steph is involved, sometimes Sydney, sometimes Antoine. It's a very collaborative team kind of effort. So that sort of wraparound support so that students know that they have that entourage of people who are available and here to help support them. Aside from the personal assistant and the resource referrals, we've got lots and lots of academic help and interventions, tutoring and learning coaches. We have tutoring for those sort of notoriously difficult courses like your math and your science. Um, and they are staffed here in Normal Hall. Learning coaches. I was the kind of person who, when I was in high school, I didn't have to really study. I didn't know how to. So when I got to college, I failed the first test I ever took because I didn't know how to study at all. But learning coaches are people who are trained, like upper class students who are trained in like learning techniques and styles and can help you learn how to study. They can help you find a routine that works for you. They can help you out with time management. They can help you out with scheduling everything out so that you know where your time is to focus on classes in school and stuff like that. We also have the math lab. So any of those like foundational math courses, even up into some of the more advanced classes, you can go to the math lab and get individual help and support with math. The writing center, any stage in your writing process where you are, you can take your assignment to the writing center and they'll help you brainstorm, they'll help you write, they'll proofread, they'll do whatever you need to help you make that assignment as good as it can be. The Science Help Center, you can go there for chemistry and physics support. And then our program has a graduate student mentor. And she was mentioned a little earlier, and she is wonderful. She's excellent. She can have those similar sort of one-on-one meetings that learning coaches can have, but on a little bit more focused and advanced of a level. Um, we have that cross-functional intervention team. So we talked about the personal assistance and resource referrals. So we've got people all across campus who are available and ready to support students. So every week I meet with all of the academic advisors and talk about things that are going on in their like transition course, that UC class that Antoine mentioned. We sort of talk about things that are going on in there. We talk about anyone who maybe needs to, like maybe needs an email outreach to see how things are going. And then Steph will meet with like the dean of students and other offices across campus to make sure that if there's anything going on, that everyone who can help knows about it and is able to offer help and support. And then financial assistance as well. This was mentioned a little bit previously, but we do offer a Bridge the Gap scholarship. So your balance to register for classes that you owe to the university needs to be below $1,000. And students can apply for a scholarship that will pay down their balance to $999 to allow them to register for the upcoming semester. We do also offer full tuition scholarships for juniors and seniors. So that is a competitive kind of thing they can apply for in their junior and senior year. And that is all from me.
All right. Oh, it's still echoing.
Do you want to tap on mine? Mute yourself.
Sydney and I are going to switch places.
All right, can everybody hear me? I'm so sorry about that interim rock star show. My mic wasn't working, so as well as my audio, so I am leeching off Danny. Thank you for letting me leech today, Danny. I am here today to talk to you about Bridge Week, which is our premier program at Project Success. My name's Sydney. I'm a programming coordinator for Project Success. I'm also do a bit of advising. My favorite thing we get to do is Bridge Week, though. It's really exciting because all of our Bridge Week students get to move in a week earlier, opposed to other students who might not take the Bridge Week opportunity. In fact, move-in starts on August 9th, Sunday, August 9th, which is a full week earlier than any other student. During that day, we'll meet you at your residence. We'll have a packet for you with all sorts of goodies and our handy dandy schedule with our brave leader Steph designed that has our schedule and everything we're going to talk about today. When you get to go to Bridge Week, you get to experience college, meet staff, and adjust a week before school actually starts. So you get a bit of a head start. And you get a full week to adjust, which definitely helps with homesickness because we're giving you workshops to do, events to go to, friends to meet, and staff to introduce yourself to, as well as faculty. One of the best parts is being able to network with those faculty and staff ahead of time. Because when you meet with those staff and those faculty members early, you're really building the entourage further than what we're already giving you. You're making a campus-wide network that can help you when you need to, point you the correct direction, and show you opportunities that other students might not know. A lot of these are faculty and staff members around ISU. They teach different workshops. For example, we have a really great one called What Colleges Really Like, Professors, Papers, and Participation that a lot of our faculty do. I know that Dr. Dean in music, he loves to do that one. We've got one from the campus police that they really enjoy talking about campus safety. We've got a really great one about setting boundaries. We even have people show you where your classes are, things to make you feel fully prepared and gain those skills that you might not have coming out of high school. Um, we also have different workshops to help you learn different skills that we use in the form of pathways. This year, um, I'm sorry, I'm getting over being sick. We experimented a bit with different pathways. So we had 5 different ones. We had one called Take the Lead, which was all about gaining leadership skills. We had one called Unlock Your Academic Superpowers, which was about different academic skills that Danny does a great job of expanding on in the UC 110 course you would take thereafter. We have another one called Real Talk, Real Connections, which is all about relationships. And that doesn't just mean romantic relationships. That's about relationships with your friends, maybe your coworkers, your family, your classmates, all the types of relationships that you're going to encounter as a college student. We have one called Level Up Your Future, which is done by our wonderful Career Center, which gives you career advice, helps you dive into ideas for careers for later and jobs for now, as well as getting those connections for some good campus jobs. And finally, we have one that's Recharge and Rise that's done by our Counseling Center, which is all about getting those necessary mental health skills to help you power through college. Um, Through these different workshops and seminars, you'll get a lot of inside knowledge of ISU that other students who don't take this opportunity might not gain immediately. Um, Further, it's a lot of fun. Bridge Week is a lot of fun. This year I did a lot of planning for our night event. So every night we did an event that was meant to bring students together, get them to know each other, hang out a little bit, and just really have a little fun. So our first day we did field day, which we had a Kona ice truck. We had different games for them to play. But the event that stole the show that night was we had Clothespin Assassin. It wasn't even planned. But they carried it through, and it was something that we're bringing back this year to let you know stuff. They loved Clothespin Assassin. The next day we did bingo with prizes that you might need for the dorm. So we had like coffee makers, we had different ramen sets, things like that. The next night we did a trivia night. We also did tie-dye with the RA, with the residential halls, which we do every year. Students go crazy for the tie-dye. And trivia, we do things from pop culture and also ISU trivia. That is kind of fun to know as an incoming student. And then our final night, we do a closing cookout, which usually will have the provost come. The president likes to appear. You just come, get good food, hear some final remarks, and have one great last night of Bridge Week. I'm really looking forward to it this year. I can't wait to see how we can expand it, and I hope to see you all there. Thank you.
Awesome. So Bridge Week is our premier program. It is not required of Project Success students. It is optional. But the year when we started the program in 2021, we had 80 students participate in Bridge Week. And this past fall 2025, we had 619 students registered for Bridge Week. So it is a very popular program with our incoming students. It is exclusive to Bridge Week. And then we also have a couple of living learning community students who participate. We're working on getting our website updated. So I'll have Aria send everyone out the website link once it's completely updated. but we're really proud of the program. We have seen since we started the program in 2021, students who participated in the program, we've seen about an 11% increase in first year retention among those students. And we've seen for our students who participate in Bridge Week, it's about 18% retention percentage point increase. So our program is incredibly important and incredibly helpful for students. And like they all said, it's about relationship building. And so you build strong relationships with your entourage. We help you build strong relationships with other students. Bridge Week is essential in that, in helping you start building a cohort of students and a support network of your peers. And so I just received a text message a couple weeks ago from a couple of students who met during Bridge Week, became best friends, and then they were just in each other's weddings. So it's a really great opportunity. Um, and there's so much more that we can't even get into because we just don't have the time to talk about everything. But does anybody have any questions about Project Success or Bridge Week? Um, to give you a little bit more history, Project Success did start, it's been at the institution for years. And then in 2020, we wrote a grant to turn it into a 4-year program. Um, so we've put a lot of resources in it. And I just actually had a student today who's not part of Project Success email me and ask me if they could join because they want to be part of things. Um, so it's a really great opportunity for um, students to get support, to start feeling a sense of community, to know that they have a team of people that are there to support them. And we work with students on everything from how to develop your study skills to how to navigate procrastination. Danny just presented at a national conference and went to a workshop about procrastination and how to trick your brain into stop procrastinating, which I think is phenomenal because I think that a lot of us can use those skills. So we work with students on everything, financial issues, home issues. It's really just to help you make sure you have someone here on ISU's campus that you feel comfortable reaching out to and accepting help. And we will do everything we can to help remove barriers and help you be successful while you're at Indiana State. Um,
We do have a question. Candy joined us a little late, and so I will be providing a recording for this Zoom session just in case you joined late or weren't able to attend, or for folks who weren't able to attend. But are we able to sort of give a summarization for Candy of like what exactly Project Success is and how students, I think a good one too would be how students sort of, is it something they sign up for?
yes,
Yes.
absolutely. So, Project Success supports students who have a high school GPA up to a 3.25. So, students who have a high school GPA up to a 3.25 are automatically in Project Success. So, you'll typically get, I think we usually start sending letters out in November or December. You'll get a notification from us saying, hey, guess what? You qualify for Project Success. We're really excited. And then we'll send out monthly communications starting from that point and moving forward to teach you a little bit more about our program, to let you know a little bit more how we support you. Students who are above a 3.25 can opt into the program. So that all you have to do is send me an email, and the last slide has my email address on it, and we'll get you into the program. The reason why we choose up to 3.25 is that typically students above a 3.25 have a lot of support at the university. And when we were trying to decide what type of student to support with the program or who we wanted to offer the more support programs to. We really wanted to focus on the students up to a 3.25 because that's kind of where I was as a student. And I remember how hard it was for me to ask for help. And there were a lot of things I didn't know. I was a first generation student. There was a lot of stuff I didn't know. So we really wanted to offer that extra support for our students who aren't honor students, who are our typical student who are perfectly capable of being successful and could probably be even more successful with an additional support. So that's who's in it. So anyone up to a 3.25 is automatically enrolled in the program. But what we are is a 4-year support program. So starting with day one, we're here to offer any kind of support we can offer, from connecting you to resources, to being a non-judgmental ear to listen, to being someone who, if you do mess up, you feel comfortable going to, because we're going to tell you that we all mess up. And there's no judgment here. We're going to help you fix things. Our goal is helping students understand, especially our first year students, that that first semester of college is a lot bigger transition than you expect it to be. Because you're not just going away to the 13th grade. You're moving your life from your home most of the time. You're completely uprooting your life and moving someplace entirely new. And so um, we want to provide that support mechanism that lasts all 4 years. And I think I just saw another question.
So we have two questions. The first question is about Bridge Week move-in, and just kind of going over if Bridge Week move-in is only for Project Success students.
So it's not only for Project Success students, it's for Bridge Week students. So Bridge Week is comprised of Project Success students who participate in the LEAD Living Learning Community, the Ignite Living Learning Community, the I Succeed Living Learning Community, and the Pathway to Indiana State University. Those are who are primarily initially invited to Bridge Week, and then if we have extra seats available, then we open that up to students who don't fit one of those categories. So that's who can move in. And then there are other people. So if your student participates in band, then they typically move in on the 9th. If your student works somewhere on campus, a lot of offices will have them move in on the 9th. But primarily it's for students who are in Bridge Week.
So there's the chat, which is available. Thank you, Jennifer. I feel like Jennifer has been so helpful in getting this adjusted. The chat is now available for all folks to use, and we also have a Q&A at the bottom if you want to ask any questions for our project success team. I will also share on our next slide, we do have Stephanie Piercy's contact information. You're more than welcome to take a picture of that. Again, this will be a part of our recording as well. If you have any follow-up questions that maybe you haven't thought of at the time or something comes up later. I did also want to share our family programs email is at the bottom too, which I know I've emailed a couple of you folks from for this event. If you have general questions about family programs or project success or anything else that you can think of, you can also generate your questions there, and I'm more than happy. It would be me who gets back to you. So what this slide has here, what we've got some things that are next. We do offer preview days, daily visits, virtual tours, and virtual meetings with an admissions counselor. So if you scan that QR link, which a link will also be provided in email with the recording for this event once we've got that posted, you can use that QR link with your phone and it'll take you to our visit webpage. And from there, you can schedule to join us for a preview day. So what preview days are, they range. We have one, I think we have two more for this semester. Tomorrow we have an honors college one where students who are interested in attending the honors college get an entire day to meet faculty and staff and get to learn a little bit more about what our honors college provides. So that one is tomorrow. The sign up for that is closed, but just to give you an example, we do a couple honors college preview days. On November 20th, we have the Scott College of Business preview day. So you can follow that link and sign up for that if your student is really interested in one of the business majors we have to offer and wants to get a little bit more insight on what that department looks like. And then we also have general preview days, which are a little bit longer throughout the day. And so if you have a student who's really just not entirely sure what major they'd like to explore, that event is a little bit more in depth, and we get you in touch with multiple different colleges and faculty across the university. You can talk with financial aid and other resources across campus. Again, our next one for that is February 20th, but you can go ahead and use that link to register for it. And our daily visits, we do offer one-on-one academic sessions during those daily visits. So if you're wanting to meet or not necessarily one-on-one, but in a smaller group setting with a faculty member in a specific department, you can schedule a daily visit, and we can get you an academic appointment with that session to get you maybe a little bit one-on-one with somebody. But yeah, we offer so many different ways that you can get to know our faculty and staff across campus, and we hope you take advantage of that. I'm really thankful for everyone who attended or signed up to receive our recording for this event. We're hoping to get a couple more webinars going for next year. So if there's something that you're really interested in and would like to hear more about, you can definitely email us at the ISU-family programs at indstate.edu, and we're more than happy to take suggestions on what to do next. So thank you.
One last plug. If you
Oh,
come if
last
you
slide.
do come for a daily visit and you want to talk one-on-one about how Project Success may help you, or if you're not, you don't fall in that GPA range and you're interested to learn more about Project Success or Bridge Week, let them know when you sign up and they'll schedule an appointment with one of us and you can meet with one of us to talk one-on-one about the programs as well. So we would love to meet with you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. You can stick around if you have any other additional questions, but I'm going to stop the recording there.